Call 1-888-FARMERS to switch, and you could save an average of $470 on your auto insurance. That's a lot of money in just a few minutes. With savings like that, you could be lounging on an impractical amount of ornate and overpriced throw pillows you bought for your couch. But you won't, because you're better with money than that. That's why you're calling us in the first place. Call 1-888-FARMERS to get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Based on average nationwide annual savings survey dated July to December 2020. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
At NJM Insurance, making our customers happy is what makes us number one. J.D. Power ranked us first in the nation for customer satisfaction with the auto insurance claims experience. Get award-winning service at njm.com. This isn't just insurance, it's NJM.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
At DBS, you can study in Dublin City Centre or online. Choose from over 100 industry-led programmes. Programmes designed to fit your life now and help you create your future. Realise your ambitions. Apply for a full or part-time course today at dbs.ie.
Everyone shouts about how fast their broadband is.
We're fast, mega fast, stupid fast, almost too fast.
But what do they say about reliability? Well, Dublin, with Virgin Media you get both. Ireland's fastest broadband network and 99.9% network reliability. Reliability at speed. See virginmedia.ie.
Terms and conditions apply. Ireland's fastest broadband network as awarded by Ookla. Network reliability. See virginmedia.ie/proof.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Core Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
It's 267. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
No stoners. You do not get a Woodstock 50.
Oh man, yeah, we don't get a Woodstock anymore in the age of legalization. Although, I'm assuming, would this have taken place in New York? Were they looking to have it in New York?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess to their advantage.
Mistake number one.
At least, and we all know that, at least if we follow this stuff, New York did not pass a legal program for cannabis. It did manage to get decriminalization from the mayor. The mayor from de Blasio.
Now, when we say New York, are we talking about city or state?
Yeah, so that would be city. That's right. And this wouldn't be. There's no way they have. Right. Get the rope. Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Because Woodstock would be like out in the country.
Yeah, so if I'm in Albany, not decriminalized, but if I'm in Brooklyn, decriminalized.
It wouldn't have applied anyway. But still, I mean, you think that would be their major problem?
Right.
As a matter of fact, are we surprised? Actually, the only thing surprising about this Woodstock is that it didn't wait until it was up and running to have problems. It had so many problems it couldn't even get started.
Unlike the last Woodstock.
Right. All Woodstocks in the past have had, issues, but you don't know until you get there and realize, we should have put netting over the speakers or maybe secured them in some way so that they don't fall over when people climb them. Oh, geez, that guy looks like he's bleeding. Okay. Or, doesn't sound like the first Woodstock was a breeze.
No, it
was rather chaotic.
Yeah, like halfway through it, they said, "Fuck it, it's free," and that's when the shit got real fucked up. Like state highways were closed down.
I think that happened at one of the Lollapaloozas, one of 4, maybe 5. I can't remember what the last one I went to. And they couldn't have them at Pine Knob anymore because the last one at Pine Knob, everyone tore up the sod on the lawn and threw it at Ministry. So they had it at I think it was Milan Speedway or something like that.
Yes.
It's just flat, open. It might as well be fucking desert. It's just sun beaming down on you, no shade, no trees anywhere. There's tents, but they're all selling stuff. You can't hang out underneath them. And water was all bottled water that you had to pay $1 for. And it was also really hard to please. People were sneaking in. And they had so many people that were passing out, dehydrating, and sneaking in that eventually they just opened it. It's fuck it. The day's half over. Let's let the security focus on making sure people don't die.
Yeah. New priority. People not dying.
No brown acid, though. That was the big thing at the original Woodstock.
Yes.
Wasn't that from Woodstock?
It was.
The brown acid. Well, what happened with this one? They couldn't... You'd think in the day, in the golden age of the festival, right? I mean, This is the golden age of TV. This is also the golden age of the festival. Everyone knows what Burning Man is. Everyone's been to some kind of... I haven't, but Bonnaroo or...
Coachella. What is it? You got your Rock on the Range.
The what?
Rock on the Range.
Is that a Colorado thing?
No, I think it's in Ohio or Kentucky. And they've had it for like a decade. And it's generally all the big rock acts at the moment. So yeah, these things are everywhere. I'm sure we're missing something.
So it's more like
how can you not say
what
that
are
one?
the big rock acts of the moment? Are they still kind of man rocky?
I don't even know. I'm 40.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, this one had apparently problems finding a venue.
Yeah. They tried to have it in Watkins Glen, 150 miles northwest of the original concert. The venue backed out. Then the plan was to have it in Vernon, New York. But organizers couldn't get a permit. So yeah, they couldn't get a place to have this bitch. Probably because people after 99 are like, we don't want to deal with this.
Woodstock co-founder Michael Lang, who's now 74 years old, was interviewed by the AP saying, "What can I say? It's not been surprising that we weren't able to pull this off."
And then too, when it couldn't get a venue, the money, it couldn't get money. People who were backing it kept pulling out.
So they kept losing their venues because people are like, my property is going to be trashed.
No, thank you. We don't want everything on fire and people getting sexually assaulted.
And once they started losing venues, they started losing sponsors.
Yes.
And some of those sponsors, when they were backing out, were actually claiming that the event was officially canceled. And I guess Lang, the co-founder, sued them for that and won in court. Were you saying that the artists were getting paid still? How does that work? I mean, not that that's even my primary concern. I mean, the artists, they have enough advance time that, sure, maybe they would have turned down another gig for this. Maybe it's a lost opportunity. But anyone who's playing this festival probably has no problem getting gigs anywhere anyway. And
it wasn't exactly, it was like local bands.
Right. My primary concern would be, how about the people who put all the work into organizing this, and are they being properly compensated? I would hope so.
From Variety, a rep from the festival confirmed to Variety that every artist on the bill had been paid in full. That's 76 artists, not including the Black Keys, who pulled out shortly after being announced. In the end, more listed for each day. The top artists include
even if they
Jay-Z,
pulled out?
Dead and Company, The Killers, Miley Cyrus, Imagine Dragons, Chance the Rapper, Halsey, The Raconteurs, Santana, John Fogerty,
all
and
those
others.
fucks got paid. All those rich fucks.
They were paid in advance.
Successful.
And the money was held in escrow until the festival either took place or was canceled. The money has been released, source tells Variety, with all of it going to the artists or their representatives.
Thank you, Fire Festival, huh?
Yeah.
This has to be a result of the events at the Fire Festival. And they're like, no, you pay in advance. Even if you cancel, we get paid.
Well, Billy McFarland's a hero to these guys
to
now.
Work.
Yeah, right? Didn't Adam Carolla call that the dream?
Right.
Dude, here we go. Oh my God, these guys got paid for 2 years to not go to work.
If they would have put Adam Carolla on the bill, he would have been a pig in shit right now.
It's a dream, though. Hey, here's a whole pile of money to not do your job. Say what now?
Yeah, well, yes.
You want me to not do the thing that gets me money and you'll give me money? Yes, please.
That only, I guess, I don't know what other circumstances that happens.
It's like if you got paid to not fuck kids.
What?
You're like, I'm already not fucking kids.
That's not anyone's job not to do that or to do that. That's not a that's not a job description.
Bad example.
That's
looks like you're already doing it anyways. Here's some money for it.
That's like when Homer tells a family that they have to cut back because he loses his job, and everyone's got to do their part. And Bart says, "I can take up smoking and quit."
Yeah,
and he's like, "Good job, boy."
Giving up smoking is one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do. Have $1.
He didn't do
anything.
Didn't he, Lisa? Didn't he? Hey, wait a minute. He didn't!
The FDA finally had something to say about CBD this week. I'm surprised they've kept their mouths quiet on it this long.
Let me guess, it's bad and it's criminal and it's going to kill the children and we should get rid of it immediately?
No, it was actually just one company that they gave a warning to.
What was the warning about?
Making unsubstantiated medical claims about CBD health benefits, including that the compound could treat Alzheimer's disease and kill breast cancer cells.
Oh, whoa. Slow your roll here.
FDA Commissioner Dr. Ned Sharpless. That's a nice name. Says selling unapproved products with unsubstantiated therapeutic claims, such as claims that CBD products can treat serious diseases and conditions, can put patients and consumers at risk by leading them to put off important medical care. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. There's a lump in my tit, but it's fine. I'm taking my CBD.
Yeah.
Right. I guess it has blown up quite quickly.
It's everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere.
And it's...
states like Iowa and their shops that just say CBD on them.
Right.
Like, that's it. That's all you do.
But it's not even regulated as like a supplement, right? Because there's prescription medicines and then there's like vitamins and supplements. That's a total different classification, obviously. Not something you need a prescription for, but also you can be a little more vague about what it does. But CBD isn't even regulated in that respect. Well, until now, this would be the first actual official regulation. Not that the regulation is specialized to CBD. They're just saying, hey, just like any other product, you can't just make wild claims and slap it on your label.
Wait, I can't just lie about
selling
this?
snake oil.
Turns you into Superman. Gives you superpowers. Drink this and you can fly.
Regardless of how the FDA wants to regulate it, there's enough money behind it at this point that
they'll figure it out.
They will definitely figure it out. Okay, guys, we can't claim that it's going to kill your cancer, but we can put on the label, if you have cancer, this might be a good idea.
Yeah, we can't say it's not going to hurt it.
Right.
It's not going to give you more cancer.
The former president of Kellogg of North America.
The cereal guy?
The cereal guy, Paul Norman, said this week that the market is going to grow 4 to 5 times to $20+ billion.
Is he saying they're putting weed in the cornflakes? Is that what's going to start happening?
Just the CBD.
Coming out with Wheaties. See what I did there?
Yeah, it was about as subtle as a 2000s era rap song.
Right. Lick it like a lollipop. It's about as subtle as that.
No, this Norman guy, of course, is now CEO of Heavenly RX, a CBD wellness company, growing through acquisitions and investments, according to Yahoo Finance. Oh, and recently has a 25% share in Jones Soda. So
it's still around.
I think we know where he's going with that. What is Jones Soda deal like? They used photos from their customers on their labels,
and it was pure cane sugar.
Oh yeah. Well, I would imagine people still drink that because that cane sugar thing seems to have taken off.
Oh, for sure, especially when you put it in the Pepsi and the Coke. Yeah, still around. I think I knew this because me and the wife looked it up. We're like, whatever happened to that shit? We're like, no, it's still here.
God drinks Diet Dr. Pepper.
Who told you that one?
Preacher. Preacher is back on AMC for its 4th season. And this show, it's not great, but sometimes it's brilliant. It's a very oddball show. And I usually like shows that are really heavy on
isn't like Seth Rogen involved?
Yes. Yeah, same guys who did The Boys, which is somewhat similar in tone, but way different in handling of the material. There's definitely an absurdist, there's a ridiculousness to Preacher that's done intentionally. And God's a regular character now on this season.
Wow.
And
that's just going for it, huh?
Yeah. It had the opening of season 2 was probably one of the best things that I've seen on television. And it's just this scene with God. He's got like a mug of he's got his morning coffee, right? And he's looking over his creation. And in this case, at this time, his creation is dinosaurs. He's standing there looking at the brontosaurus, enjoying his coffee and marveling. His finest creation, here it is. And he admires the dinosaur as it eats away at some leaves. And then it decides it wants to take a big shit. And the dinosaur takes a big shit. And God kind of looks disgusted, but he's like, well, these things happen, right? This is part of life, I guess. And then the dinosaur turns around and starts sniffing at the shit. God's going, no, don't you dare. and the dinosaur starts eating his shit. And mind you, this is like this really like Harryhausen type of claymation dinosaur thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not meant to look like Jurassic Park or anything. And it's just mowing away at its own shit. And God decides, that's it. I have to wipe this creation clean from the earth. It starts raining meteors down on it.
Wow.
And the dinosaur sees the meteors coming down and starts eating faster. Until it eventually gets wiped out. Oh, and in between, before he sees the dinosaur eat its own shit to distract himself from the idea that the dinosaur just shat in front of him, he gets really excited about a double rainbow. And I'm telling you, like, the show is horrible on plot, not great on character development.
Well, you're really selling it.
It's not great for character motivation. It is fantastic performances, fantastic actors, and they take chances and do things that other shows don't dare to. And some of it's a lot of it's shock value, and some of it's just ridiculous jokes. Like the Herr Starr, one of the main villain in this season is this very tall German guy with a bald head, and he gets shot at the end of last season, and it goes through his hat, but then you find out that it actually grazed the top of his skull, and so he has this line down the top of his head, and they show him from above, and it looks just like a dick. And he's pissed about it. Like, he wants to find Jesse, who shot at him, and he tells him repeatedly that he's going to find him and carve a vagina into his head to get back for making him look like a dickhead. And Jesse's best friend is a vampire.
Of course.
So if you like shows that make sense, that have like really tight this is not for you. This and Legion are two of my favorite shows, and they're like ridiculous.
If you're into cohesion,
not for you. Oh, they're doing time travel for the season of Legion. So not for the faint of heart.
Or strong of plot.
Yeah, not for the, if you're really into mysteries, don't watch this. So what is going on with cannabis? Here in Michigan, we're waiting patiently.
Yeah.
It's
August.
Yes, it is. It's August. Should only be a few months away.
Whenever you're ready, state of Michigan.
But nobody is expecting anything to hit before November, which is the norm. Usually when you vote in a new law, you have a year to implement that law. Not just cannabis, but pretty much anything. People vote on gambling or changing the drinking age or anything like that. So then your representatives then have a year to put together a plan to completely lay out what that's going to look like according to the dictate of the people. So it was actually Illinois has an advantage. They're probably going to be right behind us when it comes to having their recreational program up and running because they were able to just vote on it within the, what's it called? The system with
State
the representatives.
House.
Yeah, the
legislature.
Yes, within the legislature. That's the word I was
State
looking
Congress.
for. The representatives voted on it directly and not the people.
So they can get it up and running quicker because the wheels are already turning on their end since they turned them.
I guess. It actually doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I looked into this, and that's, there's many stories about how Illinois isn't regulated at the same timetable, but what happens within that year, if they let that year expire, then they no longer can put restrictions. After that year is up, they can't put any further restrictions on the law, right? Mm-hmm. So that year is basically spent going, well, the people said this, and that was just one or two sentences on a ballot. That has to translate into many, many pages of code and regulation. And so they have to interpret, well, the people say this, and this is what they mean, and that's how this is going to translate into how we regulate it, right?
Yeah, essentially, when the people voted in, they go, hey, do this. And they go, well, guess we got to figure out how to do this. Whereas in Illinois, they just go, hey, we're already doing this.
Right. After that year is up, they can no longer put further restrictions on whatever it is. In this case, cannabis is what we're talking about. They can only lift regulations that were already in place or possibly modify them, but you can't put additional restrictions on it. You can't come back 2 years later and go, well, we voted on 18 and up, but we think that 21 and up is more appropriate.
What if they want to go the other way? 16 and up. We're closing all the high schools. Oh, wait.
Graduation rate would just plummet.
Dropping out of high school to become a professional weed smoker. How are you going to stop that when someone just won $3 million playing a Fortnite tournament?
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Our business needs vans, lots of vans, and Europcar meets our day-to-day needs all across the country, providing our company with the ideal selection of small, medium or large vans and trucks, and even bespoke commercial vehicles delivered directly to our premises.
From our 22 nationwide locations, Europcar supplies Irish businesses with an unrivaled range of vans, 4x4 pickups, 4-seater commercial SUVs and double cab tippers. With 9,000 vehicles in our fleet, there's no demand we can't fulfill. Europcar, moving your way.
After a great start to the Euro 2020 qualifiers, the Republic of Ireland look to continue their 100% home record as they take on Switzerland on Thursday, September 5th at Aviva Stadium. Then on Tuesday, September 10th, we go again at Aviva for the 3 international friendly versus Bulgaria. Kick-off for both games 7:45. Show your support for the boys in green this September. Tickets on sale now starting at €20 from fai.ie/tickets. Booking fee applies. After a great start to the Euro 2020 qualifiers, the Republic of Ireland look to continue their 100% home record as they take on Switzerland on Thursday, September 5th at Aviva Stadium. Then on Tuesday, September 10th, we go again at Aviva for the 3 international friendly versus Bulgaria. Kick-off for both games 7:45. Show your support for the boys in green this September. Tickets on sale now starting at €20 from fai.ie/tickets. Booking fee applies.
ChristopherMedia.net. The Weedsman Podcast.
Not everyone's that lucky, though. Well, certainly not lucky enough to have recreational cannabis, but even those with medicinal programs, even after you voted in, debate over it for a year, there's still ways to basically stonewall the process. I mean, we've seen this in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
If you're pulling the strings for all the money, then you can't even pay somebody to write up regulations for it. So whatever the numerous roadblocks that have been in the way for Louisiana, patients in that state have been rather patient. But they are going to start opening dispensaries finally this week. The week this is coming out.
How long has this been? Try to see how long have the wheels been turning on this one? Because they're saying finally, like, what was it voted in like 2002? Like, hey, 18 years later.
2015.
Oh, wow.
So
4 years,
4 years later.
Slow down, Louisiana. Is it that Bayou life? That Bayou living?
And apparently there's only 2 companies that are approved to grow, and they finally got the go-ahead to ship their product to dispensaries.
I wonder if Bayou Weed's all crazy weed.
Bayou Weed? I can't afford my own. Also, no partying on this shit now. You take it like the medicine it's supposed to be. You get oils, pills, liquids, topical applications, or an inhaler.
Kind of is partying.
Yeah, that is. You can make a really good party out of all that shit.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like, it's everything but the flower.
But yeah, the people in Louisiana are like, you said oils and pills and liquid, right? Like I can get all of them?
Yeah.
I just want to, I don't know which one's for me.
Like, yeah, you can get cartridges.
Coming the next week. Can I get one of each, please? Oh, you still haven't figured out? I got to weigh it out, yeah? I gotta be sure. I'm still not sure which one is the right one for me. So I'm still trying them all out.
Yes.
So plus I think they also restrict they put a cap on the potency. So you'd have to kind of overdose on this shit if you wanted to have any fun on it. But
Or their limits like 500 milligrams.
Right.
Oh.
But we, of course, know that just like anywhere else in the U.S., in Louisiana, if you want to smoke pot, you can find some pot to smoke, right? All this means is that none of this is putting any kind of dent in the black market at all.
Nope.
But if it's getting somebody who didn't have access to it, who didn't know somebody who knows somebody, who didn't have somebody in the family that grew it.
It's changing the pot game in New Orleans.
If it gives them access to, something that helps them out, and they can do it in a way that they don't have to do anything illegal or make them feel uncomfortable or, play a video game with a guy for a half hour or, listen to his demo tape.
Oh, I don't miss any. I don't miss none of that shit. Just going to a store.
Yeah, imagine like if you had to get your groceries, and the bagger would help you load them, but he'd also want to hang out
and then eat some of the groceries with you.
Yeah. Oh, you got some of these pizza rolls. You're supposed to cook these things, but damn, if you just kind of suck on them, they're pretty good frozen. Cracks them open, pops a few in his mouth. So yeah, anyways, you should come see me DJ on Thursday night. I kid.
I just want pizza rolls.
Black market drug dealers, you guys are all right. I'm just kidding. And who hasn't slung some weed, right?
Who among us?
Who among us? Us here in the studio.
Hey, no,
hasn't broken off the occasional dime.
Hey, with my card, I'm a caregiver, sir.
That's right. You are legally allowed to dispense in some fashion.
This has to be to people with cards. Actually, the way the law is, I dispense to myself. I am my own caregiver.
Well, there you go.
I get it from the dispensary and then dispense it to my face.
Which is probably just a legal way of saying that you're responsible.
Well, they still,
right?
even when even there now, that's
the
still
way
called...
they get their doctor approval, right? It's official. You need to see, a doctor has to prescribe it, but still ultimately you are choosing to take it yourself. You are the caregiver.
I'm still pretty certain they're still using the language that, it's a $50 donation.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Maybe that's gone because they've been charging sales tax for a year. Maybe donation went away a year ago when sales tax kicked in. Because how are you going to tax a donation?
Right. Well, and they can't give anything away for free anymore, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so I don't know how that works with donation. Actually, maybe that's why they can't give anything free away, is because they can't classify it as a donation. A donation, you get free shit all the time, right? You donate to PBS, you get a tote
they said
bag.
it was when the inspectors from the state it all started after they got licensed. They're like, well, the pharmacy at Rite Aid can't just give away medication. Why should you be able to?
You can't give away beer either, can you?
No, not Michigan.
Yeah.
You have to call it half price drinks.
Yeah.
You can't say buy one get one. It's got to be half price drinks. Yeah.
Oh.
You can't say you're giving away liquor or alcohol. In Michigan, anyway. I've been in other states. They're like, buy one, get one. I'm like, wow, your liquor code here, don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Louisiana, they can like walk around outside with it.
Yeah, dude. You've been to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just, on the strip, it's like mandatory. You don't have a drink, somebody hands you one. Hey, here you go. First time I went to Vegas, the guy I was working for at the time, another manager I was, working with, three of us go to a store, buy a 12-pack and just split it, walking up and down the strip. Like, all right, This place is going to be cool. And it was.
Well, okay, so other things that are happening in cannabis, New York, I think we mentioned this maybe at the top of the show. Seems like forever ago. I've lost my sense of time. Wait, okay, so it was New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. So I know
it's the state.
It is the state, yes. I thought it was.
So you fucked up. What's that?
Did I at least get the mayor of New York is De Blasio, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. But it wasn't him. It wasn't just. It was the whole state.
Soon to be
governor,
former Democratic candidate.
He signed a bill to decriminalize cannabis and expunge all criminal penalties for possession of 2 ounces of lesser marijuana.
All right.
I couldn't find any numbers that how many people that might be, but I would imagine for the whole state of New York, that has to be in the thousands, right?
Maybe even the tens of thousands,
like tens of thousands.
I mean, you got that's maybe getting near the hundreds. I mean, New York City has 10 million people in it.
And expunge means it's off your right. Like, maybe, sure, like, it would be on there if the CIA or the FBI wanted to look into you. But if an employer wants to run a background check on you, it's not going to pop up that you had a felony charge of distribution because you had a fat sack on you. And I'm not talking about your nuts. So, that's not too shabby, right? I know that everyone had their hearts set on New York maybe putting together a medical program, a decent one. They have this really shoddy medical program they've had for a few years. It's really not doing much of anything. It's about as effective, it sounds like Louisiana's is.
The only thing I'm thinking
is...
And
then we thought that they might be on the precipice of actually going with recreational, and that failed.
Well, the other thing I'm thinking is because of the size of a city like New York City, in a state like New York, you're going to have to do this in steps. And this could be like the first step. First, we decriminalize and expunge. Next is, and then next maybe they go the Illinois route.
Well, there's two things, like, you have to combat, in the city itself, you have to combat the idea of easing up on crime, right? Everyone loves New York, from what I hear. I've never been. But, hey, apparently you can walk in parks and not get mugged anymore. So this is a good thing. We all agree on that. But to some still, there's this idea of letting up on crime in any way, including legalizing cannabis, is going to bring about those old days. Statewide, you still have a lot of conservatives outside of the city.
Yeah, most states, really. Outside the urban areas, it gets red.
Right, but New York City itself is so dense, we think about it as, this behemoth. But there's still a lot of countryside in that state.
You still got
a lot of real
upstate.
estate that votes red.
Yeah, still got upstate. One thing that I think gets lost in all of this legalization, because I still talk to a lot of people, and the attitude out there is, they don't trumpet a lot of this expunging that's going on, because there's still a lot of people
they want
out
to keep
there
it on the DL
that are, but they're ignorant of the they're decriminalizing, but they're not letting people out. They're not doing this and not doing that. And a lot of times I have to correct people. Actually, no. Washington California, Michigan, Illinois, like a lot of these states, along with their policies, has come expungement. So no, they are letting people out of jail. They are trying to make nice with the low level drug offenders.
I think there's not so many people getting let out of jail per se, and I think that's because if they want to get you on distribution, they probably got you on something else too, right? So maybe you had a large bag on you, a couple ounces, and you also had a roll of 20s. So they can get you on some other sort of, I don't know. Well, fuck, they could probably get you on tax evasion for selling drugs. They can throw other shit at you. And I imagine there might be even some people who have served time by pleading down to a lesser charge on something that these days wouldn't even be prosecuted and would possibly even be expunged from one's record. So honestly, the bigger effect, I think, with this is cases like my own.
Weren't you the victim of expungement?
It's not being victimized. I was very happy about the idea that they were going to wipe that clean. I've never applied for like a security job or anything like that. I guess it might have been an issue if I actually got to a management position at the pawn shop. But that job didn't last for long. All the managers had to carry. So that might have been an issue for that. But yeah, now it's just not an issue at all.
I always forget you work there.
But it's more it's about people who have it on their records. Maybe it keeps them from getting the job they want, keep them from getting approved for, a house or an apartment or something like that.
Keeps them from getting a second date, because people do that shit now too.
Right. So what is this legally purchased strain that we're smoking?
It's true. It is Han Solo. From the Culture Magazine website, Han Solo. God damn it.
It'll leave you passed out on the couch like you're frozen in carbonite.
Yeah, exactly. You're in that freight. You're in that
Let's get
pose.
Forlom to wheel you off.
Navigate your next journey through the galaxy alongside one of the great leaders of the Rebel Alliance. Although one parent strain, Pure Dog, doesn't come up on our radar, parent Cinderella 99, otherwise known as C99, or simply Cindy, is a sativa-dominant hybrid, lending her sweet, fruity flavors and cerebral-dominant effects. As a whole, Han Solo's flavor profile is sweet and sour, much like grapefruit with a hint of haze.
That's how Princess Leia described him, too. His flavor profile.
Containing 17
It's called space flavor profile in Star Wars.
Yeah. Numbers people don't care about. Patients looking for symptomatic relief associated to conditions such as cancer, chronic pain, migraines, nausea, PMS are graced with a comfortable, lasting effect from this strain. Beyond the nostalgic name and quick glance of this beauty, we've come to discover this strain is absolutely worth getting acquainted to on a more intimate level. Blah.
Is that supposed to be a Star Wars reference at the end there?
I guess.
So this strain's kind of creepy is what you're saying, right?
It's a scruffy looking Nerf herder.
He signed on for Indiana Jones 5
with Chris Pratt.
Harrison Ford is. Who would Chris Pratt play then? They could do
time travel in Indy. Fuck it. There's already aliens in the time travel.
They could do the Last Crusade again. Only now Harrison Ford's playing the old dude.
There you go.
And he calls Chris Pratt Jr.
See, Spielberg, hit us up. We're writing it for you.
Or maybe they could get River Phoenix. Never mind.
Hey, whatever. They got Homeboy and God damn it, the J.J. Abrams movie.
Homeboy and the J.J. Abrams movie.
The J.J. Abrams Star Wars movie, the one with all the member berries in it.
Oh, right.
Palpatine.
Grand Moff?
Yeah, he's been dead for 20 years. He was in the movie.
That was in the Rian Johnson one.
Oh, it was?
Jedi. Yeah. Grand Moff Tarkin. I think that was the dude.
Man, he's been dead since 95. So you get River Phoenix.
You digitize River Phoenix. But, hear me out, voiced by Chris Pratt.
And there you go. And Aziz
And Harrison
Ansari
Ford's
plays the
like-
No Time for Love Dr. Jones boy all grown up.
Oh no, Mr. Jones! Watch out!
No Time for Love, Dr. Jones.
Haha, very funny.
Han Solo.
It's a hand solo in Obi-Wan.
Like the number one? I thought that's what went on when I was a kid. Who's this Obi-Wan? I'm looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. I didn't take it as a number. I just thought he was like pompous. Like Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Like these days it would be Obi-Wins.
My rap name, Obi-1.
Obi the Goat Kenobi.
With the goat emoji.
It would be a goat emoji. And then lightsaber eggplant. Hashtag BLE. Big lightsaber energy.
Big saber energy.
BIC, big saber energy. That's better. It is some BDE though. To like just take a lightsaber and let yourself die. I mean, like, I'm gonna haunt you so bad, you motherfucker. You have no idea.
And that's it. See ya. Short. No, wait.
There's more than that.
It is.
I don't even know what I just said. That's not an out of that. I don't know.
Right?
Don't you think?
Man, our brains are encased in carbonite. So it's time to go. We're on Twitter at the Weedsman420, on Instagram at the Weedsman Podcast. You can email us, the Weedsman Podcast, at ChristopherMedia.net, on Spreaker.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, ChristopherMedia.net, Stitcher, still out there, iHeartRadio. We're everywhere. Stay high.
Stay high.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Our business needs vans, lots of vans, and Europe Car meets our day-to-day needs all across the country, providing our company with the ideal selection of small, medium or large vans and trucks, and even bespoke commercial vehicles delivered directly to our premises.
From our 22 nationwide locations, Europe Car supplies Irish businesses with an unrivaled range of vans, 4x4 pickups, 4-seater commercial SUVs and double cab tippers. With 9,000 vehicles in our fleet, there's no demand we can't fulfill. Europe Car, moving your way.
Sometimes you've just got to get some quality me time. Like right now, when you get away for a few hours to Kildare Village, because we've got hundreds of new arrivals, including new boutiques like Sandro and Maj. Escape to Kildare Village and get front row ready for a new season with a new look and a new smile on your face. A little me time goes a long way at Kildare Village, where there's something extraordinary every day.
ChristopherMedia.net.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
New Extra Charge Hot and Iced Coffee from Dunkin' is made with 20% extra caffeine from green coffee extract, because we could all use a little extra this year. Whether that's an extra boost, some extra boldness, or the drive to go the extra mile, we're extra ready for whatever comes our way and extra excited to take it on. Let's get it done with a medium extra charge coffee from Dunkin' for $2 with 20% more caffeine. And pair it with snackable stuffed bagel minis for an added all-day boost. Order ahead on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. New extra charge hot and iced coffee from Dunkin' is made with 20% extra caffeine from green coffee extract, because we could all use a little extra this year. Whether that's an extra boost, some extra boldness, or the drive to go the extra mile, we're extra ready for whatever comes our way and extra excited to take it on. Let's get it done with a medium extra charge coffee from Dunkin' for $2 with 20% more caffeine. And pair it with snackable stuffed bagel minis for an added all-day boost. Order ahead on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.